The first time I realized something was wrong was when her perfume lingered on my hands. But she hadn't touched me in weeks. It was 11:37 p.m. The clock on the microwave blinked in the darkness as I stood in the kitchen, her half-empty wine glass still sweating on the counter. She'd gone to a team dinner. Said the CEO wanted to celebrate the close of a major deal. I didn't question it. I never did. She worked hard. She deserved to be recognized. But that night, when I reached for her glass to rinse it, I noticed the faint smear of lipstick, deep crimson, not the soft coral she usually wore to work. A color I'd never seen before. And just like that, my chest tightened. Something primal stirred. Emma had changed over the past few months, subtly at first. Late meetings. Whispered phone calls. That new gym membership she'd never used. But what really struck me wasn't her absence, it was her indifference. When she was home, her eyes were elsewhere. Her laugh, once effortless, felt rehearsed, as if she were performing for someone invisible in the room. I tried to tell myself it was stress, burnout, maybe even depression. God knows, I didn't want to believe the alternative. We'd been married 8 years. She was my best friend, my anchor, my home. But anchors, I've learned, can drag you straight to the bottom. The first real crack appeared one Friday night when I surprised her at her office. I'd planned something stupidly romantic, a late dinner, her favorite red wine, a bouquet of lilies. She'd been working insane hours, so I thought I'd remind her what home felt like. When I reached the glass door, I could see through the tinted panels, her desk light still on, shadows moving inside. I knocked once, softly. No response. I knocked again. Then I heard it, a laugh. Hers. But layered with a deeper, male voice. A voice I'd heard before. I froze. When she finally opened the door, her hair was down, unusual for her at work, and her blazer was missing. Her cheeks were flushed. Behind her, I saw the CEO, Daniel Pierce, standing too close, holding 2 glasses of wine like it was the most natural thing in the world. "Oh, Mark," she stammered, blinking fast. "What are you doing here?" "I came to surprise you," I said, holding up the lilies like an idiot. Daniel smiled, a cool, confident smile that made my skin crawl. "Well, aren't you the thoughtful husband?" he said. "Emma's lucky." Emma's eyes flicked between us. Nervous, guilty, something else I couldn't name. That was the first night I truly saw the distance between us. The signs multiplied after that. Her co-workers avoided eye contact when I visited. One even whispered, "He doesn't know," before freezing mid-sentence. She changed her passcodes, her perfume, even the way she said my name. Lighter, almost dismissive. Still, I clung to denial. Because believing she was cheating meant accepting that I'd lost her long before I noticed. It wasn't until a few weeks later, when her phone buzzed on the nightstand, that the truth stopped hiding. She was in the shower. I shouldn't have looked. I know that. But curiosity has a way of pretending to be instinct. The notification read, "Daniel Pierce Red Heart Hash. Everyone thinks you're at home. You're incredible tonight." My throat closed. My heart slowed, not sped up. There's a kind of calm that comes before emotional collapse, like your body protecting you from yourself. I locked the phone. Stared at the wall. Heard the shower still running. The sound of water hitting tile had never felt so violent. I didn't confront her that night. Or the next. Instead, I played the part, loving husband, trusting fool. But inside, I started collecting evidence, not to expose her, but to understand how far the lie went. And that's when I realized it wasn't just her. Her entire office knew. Emails shared between team members, private Slack messages left open on her laptop, all hinting at the same sick loyalty, co-workers covering for her, setting up fake calendar entries, joking about company perks. They were in on it. All of them. It wasn't just an affair, it was a conspiracy of silence. When I finally confronted her, it wasn't planned. It just spilled out. We were sitting at dinner, the kind of forced domestic scene you only see in dying marriages. The TV murmured in the background. She was scrolling through her phone, smiling faintly at something. "Does he text you when you're home, too?" I asked quietly. Her fork clinked against the plate. What are you talking about? Daniel, I said, meeting her eyes. Your CEO. The one who tells you you're incredible at night. Her face went pale. Her mouth opened, closed. Then she exhaled, a long, trembling sigh. Mark, please. Please what? Pretend I didn't see it. Pretend your entire office hasn't been covering for you like I'm some kind of joke. My voice cracked, sharp and unfamiliar. She started crying then, silent tears that felt rehearsed. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, she whispered. He understood me. I felt seen again. You stopped looking at me a long time ago. The words cut deeper than any confession could. So this was my fault? I asked. No, she said, shaking her head. But it wasn't all mine either. There was a terrible honesty in her eyes, an admission that didn't beg forgiveness, just release. I didn't throw anything. I didn't scream. I just stood, walked to the sink, and poured our wine down the drain. The sound was steady, almost peaceful, like rain on a roof. Do they all know? I asked quietly. Yes. And you're okay with that? Her silence was my answer. The next morning, she packed a bag. We didn't fight. We didn't hug. We just existed in the same house like ghosts walking through old rooms. She left her wedding ring on the counter beside a note that simply read, I'm sorry you found out this way. Not I'm sorry I did it. Sorry you found out. Weeks have passed since then. Her company announced a merger. She and Daniel were photographed at a charity gala, smiling, polished, perfect. Her co-workers liked every post, as if loyalty were a currency they couldn't afford to lose. I still check their website sometimes, watching her climb higher, wondering if Betrayal looks better from the top floor. But sometimes, late at night, I remember her laughter before all this. The sound of her brushing her teeth next to me. The way she used to reach for my hand under restaurant tables just because she could. And I wonder which version of her was real. A few days ago, I got an email. No subject line, no signature. Just a single line of text. He's doing to someone else what he did to her. No attachments. No details. Just that. For a long moment, I stared at the screen, trying to decide what I felt. Justice. Pity. Vindication. But what I felt, most of all, was emptiness. Because when trust dies, it doesn't just take love with it, it takes the part of you that believed love was safe. And that's the cruelest part of betrayal. It doesn't end when they leave. It ends when you stop waiting for an apology that never comes.